Hi everyone, welcome back to my YouTube channel. So as promised, I'm again late for my this video that I was supposed to do last week, but if you read my vlog or my messages on my social media account, then you'd know that I have been like super busy these days, but I'm glad I'm back. So today's post is going to be about my favorite books that have inspired me or that have changed my thoughts and pushed me or encouraged me to be a avid reader. And that's so I'm going to share my very first book that really encouraged me to start reading and start loving books. So it was suggested by my dad. I have never mentioned, so he asked me to read a book called The Monk Who Sold His Ferrari by author Robin Sharma. So that was the very first book that I read and that encouraged me to start reading more and more non-fiction books. And I was always attracted towards reading non-fiction than reading a fiction book. So that was like always my area of interest. And so here I am. As I mentioned in my last video, I have almost 62 or 63 books in my possession in my mini library, and I'm planning to add some more, like some of my really most favorites and new authors that I've read lately. So rather than having The Monk Who Sold His Ferrari, this is the book that I have, and I love this book. So this would be my second book by author Robin Sharma, and it's called Who Will Cry When You Die. So if you haven't read this book yet, please do. It has got some life wisdom, thoughts and messages that you'd love, and I would encourage you to go ahead and grab this book and read at least once. Okay, and then second would be it's like she's my new favorite author now, and I have like 4 books by author Brené Brown, and this is my third favorite book that's called Braving the Wilderness. And I just love her writing, and I can so much relate when I read her books. I just feel like I'm in the story, I'm in the book, I'm in those lines when I read. So I would also encourage you, like if you haven't read any of author Brené Brown's books, then please go ahead and grab one. There are a lot of books she has written, and so I'm going to share more in my next video. So this would be my third favorite, and the next one is that I'm presently reading is by author, this is again my first book by author Candace Cameron Bure, and this is the book that I'm presently reading, that's called Kind is the New Classy. And today, before I move on to show you more the rest of my favorite books, I want to read few lines from this book. If you remember, I had mentioned in my last video that I would be reading few phrases or paragraphs from my favorite books, and I hope you find them encouraging and positive and inspiring the way these books have done or changed my life. And they bring so much positivity and brightness to my days, and I hope that happens with you too. So this book is about, let me just read a little bit of intro about this book. Okay, so the classy confidence you know and love, whether it's on set at Full House or Fuller House, Dancing with the Stars, The View, or Candace's Hallmark films, is no act, but it hasn't come easy. Learning to stay true to herself with grace has been one of the biggest fights of Candace's life. So that's author's introduction. The secret she has learned is kindness. It's classy, unexpected, even counterculture, and ultimately it wins the day. In Kind is a New Classy, Candace reveals the thought patterns and practices that have empowered her to stay centered in who she is while practicing radical graciousness toward others. Whether you are navigating major choices, questions of calling and career, relationships, or personal goals, this book will show you how to keep your cool under pressure, respond to criticism with grace, Stay grounded, yet go places in life. Stay true to who you are despite the expectations of others. Stay centered in what ultimately matters the most. Kind is the new classy is your permission to go off script, to say goodbye to society's shoulds, and to step into a new way to flourish as a woman today. So friends, if you really feel kindness is the term that you want to live with, or you want to move forward in your life, being kind, I'm not going to force you, but if you think if that's the word for you, then please go ahead and grab this book if you can and read it. It has got so many beautiful lessons, personal experiences where author had to meet many criticisms, and how bravely and courageously and gracefully she handled those criticisms is like, I could relate to this book, and there's a lot to learn. So I'm about to finish this book. I'm in the last chapter, and I'm going to read few lines or a few pages that totally inspired me or grabbed my attention, and then if you like it, just leave me your thoughts in the comments, and I'll read more pages. I'll pick more pages from the book and read in my next video. So if you're not able to grab this book, if you're like if you don't find this book in your nearby bookstores, or if you don't want to go ahead and purchase it online to read, then please feel free to message me or leave me a comment, email me, and then I would love to read more pages from this book that can help you being more kind and would make you a kind person. Okay, so before I start reading these pages, I want to share something. So there has been a lot of emotions that's going in my house right now. Like the school year is going to come to an end, so there's you can understand there's a lot of emotions. My kids are like my little one, my son, he is 5.5 years old. He just woke up this morning crying, saying that I don't want to leave my kindergarten teacher, I don't want to go to grade 1 next year, and I'm going to miss her, I'll not be able to see her again. So these are like some sort of emotions that's happening in our house, and I feel equally participating in these things with them, because I don't know, I feel very close. My kids' school teachers and principal, they're amazing people. I've learned a lot from them, and they keep us connected. They make us feel so close and personal, and there's a lot to learn. So me as a kid, I never got a chance to interact with my teachers, with my school teachers or my college professors, because I was kind of a very introvert, shy person, and I hardly used to talk or express my feelings or anything with my teachers. Yeah, I used to hardly talk to them. So I see kind of like same emotions happening with my kids, but yeah, we are like emotionally built. We are very emotional. Yeah, sometimes that makes us vulnerable, but that's fine. That's who we are, and we like being authentic. We like staying true, and it's good to share your emotions or show your emotions quite often, right? You don't have to hide how are you feeling, or if you're mad, or if you're sad, or if you're angry, if you're frustrated, if you're scared. It's good to share it with someone who is close to you. Don't keep it inside you. That's what positivity or being a positive person, positive warrior is all about. You don't hide your emotions, you share it. You share it with the world. You find a voice to express it to someone or express it to the world in your own way, like through creativity, various mediums of creativity, or just by talking, or just by having a really deep conversation with someone you trust and you love the most. So that's what being a positive warrior is all about. And I hope I have been inspiring you to not just keep your emotions inside your heart, to express it, to express yourself. So if you have been following the Positive Window for quite a while, you'll know that I love to express my emotions. I share my emotions. Okay, so before I sign off today, let me just quickly read the pages. So it says, okay, there is a small story she has shared here, and Okay, so let me just read here. She is ambitious. Have you ever heard ambitious used like it was a bad word? I have. It's the polite way of saying she's pushy and overly self-assertive and taking charge when she shouldn't be. The implication is that ambitious women aren't virtuous or only care about themselves. I've heard this term used about women who choose to work rather than stay home full time with their children. And in the workplace, when a woman is climbing the corporate ladder as if she doesn't deserve her success. I'm going to call it now, that's nonsense. The women I admire most are ambitious. When they show up, they're fully present, sleeves rolled up and ready to make things happen. Whether it's being a stay-at-home mom, cooking or painting, throwing a great party, teaching a class or starting her own business, a woman who enjoys her work shines with a beautiful dignity. I love what scripture says about this. Whatever you do, work at it with all your heart, as working for the Lord, not for human masters, since you know that you will receive an inheritance from the Lord as a reward. I recognize my own ambition in this verse. Anyone who knows me knows that I throw myself 100% into everything I do. Whether it's cleaning my house, playing a card game called Hand and Foot with my parents and kids, writing a new book, or searching online for the perfect dress to style a friend for her big day. I give it my all, my full attention and my very best. When I say ambitious, most people think cutthroat competition, ruthless. But I'm here to tell you that godly ambition that puts God and others above yourself, is at heart of kindness. Using your gifts and dreams on behalf of others, you can't get more classy than that. Okay, the next section she writes is dream big, pray harder. I've always been a dreamer. You have heard of having a bucket list, right? Well, I have a big dreams list. Yes, an actual list. I thought about sharing a few that haven't come true yet, but it feels so personal that I want to keep my secrets between me and God for now, unless He decides to do something about them. Then I will get to give Him all the glory by sharing with you. There certainly are things I've checked off my list over the years, and I'll continue to add things and check them off in real time. Checking things off inspires me to dream even bigger, but pray even harder. Don't count me out for anything because I just might show up in unexpected places. I believe our God is an ambitious God. His ambition is as holy as it is wild, to save the whole world. You can't get much more ambitious than that. And because you and I are made in His image, I believe we are called into holy ambition as well. God can move mountains, and sometimes He calls us to join Him in this incredible work. Maybe you are a dreamer too. Recently, I talked to a young woman at the LA conference for women of influence held at my church, at which I was a keynote speaker. Her dream was a career in the tech field. She wanted to use her gifts in the digital world for God and for good, but she had scoped out the industry and hadn't met a single Christian. She was worried that she might have to conform to excel. Would her drive for excellence mean she had to change her beliefs? Would being around people who didn't share her beliefs compromise her integrity? It's reasonable to have some healthy fear about being the only believer in the room. I have been there often. Okay, so that's it, and I'm going to keep the rest of the pages to do my next video and share some more inspiration with you from this book that I'm going to finish in maybe today. And before I sign off, let me just show you the 2 latest doodle art that I have made, and about the rest of the books I have it here that I'm going to share next time, my most favorite. So today I did 4 books. I shared 4 of my favorite books with you, and I promise to share the rest in my next upcoming video. So stay tuned, and before I say bye to you, let me show you my latest doodle art. So this is something I made, and it was inspired by the kelps underwater. If you love underwater life and the videos, you would love to see kelps. They look so beautiful when these yellow kelps float around in blue, deep blue water under the sea. So if you get a chance, just go online, search for the kelps or underwater views and just go for it. So this was my inspiration, as I mentioned, that most of my doodle arts are inspired by my daily life, things around me that inspires me most, or I'm most attracted towards them, and then I just try to draw it in my art book and these doodles. And this is something new that I've come up with, and so you're gonna see more new doodle arts rather than just but there always will be nature in my doodle arts. That's the best thing, and that inspired me to start or to become a doodle artist. It's always about flowers, nature, plus some inspiring quotes and words. And this is something very new that I'm excited to share in my Redbubble store. So it reflects mostly summertime, relaxing, unwinding. So stay tuned, keep looking, and keep looking for more updates in Redbubble store. If you remember, I have the email or the link to my Redbubble store will be in the description below, and lots more to share with you next time. Until then, enjoy the weather. The weather is so gorgeous out here, so I'm hardly getting time to keep a balance between my life as a mom, wife, and plus my outdoor life, plus my life as a writer, doodle artist, or as often I like taking pictures outside. So it's all about balancing, and life is all about balancing. How well you balance everything, and you know your priorities, you know how to do the things that's most important first, and then do the rest. So until we meet next time or meet again, stay happy, stay beautiful, and stay with the positive window for more inspiration. And until we meet again, bye, and have a lovely week ahead.